You're listening to the Fox Den Sports Podcast. Now, here are your hosts, Todd and his three sons, Kellen, Garrett, and Gannon.
We're back with my two oldest sons, Kellen and Garrett, and our Dallas Cowboy football insider, Diego Zavarse. I am Todd Fox, and we are the Fox Den Sports Podcast. And tonight marks our 87th episode. What player do you think of that wore that jersey number 87? Anyone?
Yeah, well, I'll go ahead and just go in there and go Gronkowski. I would say probably one of the most physical tight ends, in the NFL history. Arguably one of the best of all time. Definitely top three in my opinion. Easily. I don't know who else you'd have. Tony Gonzalez.
He's the best
Kelsey,
of all time.
and Gronk.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, Gronkowski 87. Honestly, for what he put his body through, I feel like he was injured every single year, and just by every single game he was questionable, and he still performed. But yeah, he was in there like in the past.
I think he was faking.
Huge part of Tom Brady's success for sure.
Did Tom Brady make Gronkowski, or Gronkowski make Brady?
I think it was just like a little bit.
He was
of
just a
both.
good duo. You could say
like Gary and
Diego.
Diego. Can't really picture one without the other.
That's a great example. Perfect example, actually.
And Gary, I can't wait till you re-listen to this. You said Grob instead of Rob. You said
You
Grob.
did. I was like,
I did
who?
not.
Yes.
You were, I was
No,
like,
you 100% said it.
So the guy
Rob
you said never existed.
Gronkowski.
Good old Grub.
Rob.
Who's next?
I'm gonna go Reggie Wayne. Good old wide receiver for the Indianapolis Colts. Kind of in the. It really feels like a lot longer ago. He was there up till 2014. Seems like he's been gone a while, which I guess it's been 10 years now. But hey, good times. Him and Peyton Manning were a great duo there, so you'd love to see it. And I miss it.
I don't know how he's not in the Hall of Fame, honestly.
I really don't know. Like
For the other receivers that have made it,
Yeah.
looking at number 87, he's the top player that doesn't have it yet.
I was never. He's okay. That's just me, though.
Doesn't he still have more chances to get in?
Yeah, he will.
No, definitely.
He'll eventually. He'll eventually get in, but I didn't think he was
First ballot.
Nah.
That's special.
To me.
Just based off some of the people that are in there, though.
I don't disagree. It's become the Hall of Good instead of, they should.
You can Hall of Great, but it's not just great players that need to be in it. You know what I mean?
They need to get
Dion was saying there needs to be an upper room.
And that's what I'm saying.
I agree.
I agree with him, but then, golly, then why do they even have it? But yeah, no, I don't disagree with him.
I'll say I think the Basketball Hall of Fame's like that too.
Oh, we were talking about this a month ago, but the fact that it's the NBA and all the leagues are associated with each other, NCAA Hall of Fame.
It's just
NBA
the Basketball Hall of Fame, not
not
the NBA. I agree.
There's
I will say
nothing to it.
The MLB Hall of Fame, I think, is legit.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That's legit.
Yeah.
If you make that MLB Hall of Fame, you are the real deal.
For sure. And they don't let those guys in that possible roids.
Yeah,
Well,
it's not easy to get in.
If I'm not mistaken, they'll sometimes have years they don't even put anybody.
Yeah, they've had some where they haven't had anybody in. This last year, Scott Rowland, which I loved Scott Rowland when he played for the Cardinals, I didn't think he was a Hall of Fame player. But that's the first one I was like, huh.
Wasn't he he barely made it? He got exactly the percentage.
Yeah, he barely made it, but it's still, I don't know. He was good, but he wasn't.
Gary's favorite player, Scott Wolwin.
When he was little.
My favorite number 87 is Jordy Nelson. That dude was a beast back in the day. He was a great fantasy player too. And he made Aaron Rodgers, honestly. He made who Aaron Rodgers is today. I'll say it.
Good for you.
I'm just kidding. But Aaron Rodgers made Jordy Nelson. But he was a good wide receiver, good slot guy. I enjoyed watching him play, though. He was a good time. And as soon as he went to the Raiders, though, his career was over.
Yeah. No, I agree. And that's unfortunate for him.
At our next Instagram post, Jordy Nelson made Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah. We'll edit out the part where he said he was just kidding.
Then we'll have Green Bay fans getting mad.
It's all right. That's fine. Totally fine.
Does Green Bay still have fans?
Huh?
Does Green Bay still have fans?
They got a ton of fans. And plus I'm an owner of that franchise. So anyway, I'll tell you the 87. Speaking of the Raiders, Mr. Dave Casper. Dave Casper was incredible. Played with Kenny the Snake Stabler. I think he played, I want to say 74 to 84, something like that. I know he ended up at the Oilers. I think he may have gone to the Vikings for just a cup of coffee maybe, but Dave Casper was, of course, that was back in the day when there wasn't all a passing league. So he was an incredible, he could block, he could catch. They changed the rule because of him. They called it the Holy Roller, I think in 1978. Stabler fumbled the ball and kept batting it forward, batted it into the end zone, and Casper recovered it for a touchdown. So they changed the rule because of that. You can't, like when you fumbled, you couldn't fumble it forward and hit it to go forward. So that is the reason why that's changed. The rule has been changed. But Dave Casper, man, love that guy. Incredible football player. Let's move to some recruiting news. Now, I know it's a little bit old to some folks, but the Oklahoma Sooners just landed a big-time commitment. Hasn't signed yet, but he did say he was going to come, and that was David Stone, 5-star from IMG?
IMG Academy.
IMG Academy in Florida. I don't know whereabouts in Florida. Do you guys know? I don't have any idea. But fantastic signing. Were you ever, let's talk about it, and then, were you ever concerned at all?
I mean, yeah, I personally was, especially just because of everything that's happened the last couple of years with players of his stature that have been supposed to come to Oklahoma, which I know is a huge storyline leading up to this one, is just, can we finally just like put the nail in the coffin and actually get one of these guys? Because we've done all the work and then some to be in a great position with, again, the likes of David Hicks and Williams Nwaneri, and to not be able to get them, like, it was just, gut punch. But, and the big one on this one too is like the homegrown aspect, since, he played at Del City that's kind of where he started out his high school career and played most of his life, and then eventually transferred to IMG. So to be able to miss out like on that solid and stature of a player that was in Oklahoma, which doesn't happen very often, would have been huge if we missed out on that. But I was worried leading up right till the very, very end, and even after he put the hat on, I was like, hang on, he could still throw it off and put on one of these other ones.
Yeah, the whole time I was like, there's no way he's coming to OU. After all these heartbreaks of all these 5-star guys goodness gracious, projections saying that they're going to come to OU, I was just like, no way this guy's going to come here. I kept texting Gary all night. I was like, when is he going to commit? When is it going to happen? Is he actually coming? And as soon as he put on the hat, just like Gary said, I was like, he's going to fake out, and he's going to pick Texas A&M, he's going to pick Miami, and he's going to go with those schools. And he even said it afterwards that he reached for Miami because he actually was going to pick Miami. And then at that moment, he decided to go to OU. And that was his actual, like he said, I'm the type of person that doesn't want to fake anybody out or upset anybody. So he wasn't doing that on purpose. Like, he actually wanted to pick Miami, and then at that last second, he's like, I'm going home. I'm going back to Oklahoma. So
wow.
that was cool to hear that, but I was just like, finally we got one. But like you said, Todd, he hasn't signed yet, so he could leave. But I think he's going to stay with his decision. I think he's that type of guy.
Sure. Well, obviously, I hope, obviously you hope he stays, right? But my big thing is until they actually walk on campus, they sign. But everything looks good. You would rather them have commit than to, the opposite way, obviously, you know what I mean? But I think this is the biggest defensive signing since Tommie Harris. I think if you put Tommie Harris and Gerald McCoy against each other, I think Tommie Harris is a little better. I think Gerald McCoy had a better NFL career, but in college, Tommie Harris was, oh my goodness, that guy. And McCoy was good too. But McCoy, I remember he was thinking between USC and Oklahoma. That was his too. And he was obviously from here. He came, but I think it's the biggest defensive signing since Tommie Harris. And we got one of the guys, and I know there was a 5-star. Did we get another 5-star? Was it last year? What's his name?
Yeah,
it's hard to
just call him PJ, but
yeah,
I think it's PJ Adebawore. I don't know. The main difference though is that he was a late 5-star. So like, I think if I'm not mistaken, even after his senior season is whenever he finally got the 5th star. David Stone has been a 5-star since like his sophomore year,
right?
And so he's been this good for many, many years.
And he's the best at his position, right? He's like the
interior rusher. Yeah, 100%.
He's the top guy. He can sit there and create some havoc in the middle, which if you can come up and correct me if I'm wrong, but if you can create pressure from the middle, I don't know if there's a whole lot you can honestly do because it's coming. You don't have that you only got the center and the 2 guards right there in front. So if he can create some havoc right there, man, OU, if they can just, which I truly believe, I really do. I think that they're going to be able to coach these guys up, and I think they're going to have a really incredible defense here very shortly. Obviously, it's going to be, SEC. I'm not even talking records or anything at that point, like 8-4 or 9-3 or anything like that. But you're going to see a significant, in my opinion, difference with this defense.
I mean, I feel like you need to have guys like him to be successful in the SEC. Like, these are the guys, like, this is what Alabama and Georgia are getting year in, year out.
Correct.
If OU can start doing that, then they're going to be able to compete year in, year out, and they're not going to have those off years like they did last year. Like, if they can continue to get guys like David Stone on defense and on that D line and also on the O line, they're gonna do just fine because people are gonna continue wanting to come play for Oklahoma just because it's so historically good. But like, this is a good start to be able to finally get a 5-star D lineman like David Stone to come to Oklahoma. That is, and now other guys seeing that he made the decision, saying, "Now I can go to Oklahoma. You guys can come too and come join me." And I think that's something that we're gonna see too. Is people are going to be like, I want to go play with David Stone in Oklahoma.
But yeah, I mean, on that note, like you said, the dominoes are going to start falling. Not only this class, but classes to follow. And I think this is the first thing we're seeing, like, when people are always like, oh, but Oklahoma, I mean, they stink at producing defensive talent. Like, you're not wrong. Like, the last decade, we have not had a whole lot of success in it. So, like, they are completely correct when they say that, but the difference is that coaches, obviously, like, you can say that about Oklahoma, but you can't say that about Brent Venables and Todd Bates. Like, I think it's Todd Bates has put 17 defensive linemen in the NFL, 10 of them being 1st-rounders. And then, like I mentioned, I don't know if I said this on the podcast, but Venables since 2000 put in like 54 defensive players in the NFL. So we have the coaches to do it. It's just getting that stigma of Oklahoma not being able to put those guys in the NFL out of there, because it's about to change, which is exciting. And we're still getting these offensive talents and studs at a top level as well, with Jackson Arnold last year, the number 1 running back this year. Like, we're going to keep on the offensive side of the ball. So that's not going to be an issue whatsoever. It's just like Diego said, like getting a guy like David Stone is the ones that, again, knock some dominoes over and that you're going to see make a huge difference on the field against other 5-star players in the SEC against, Georgia, Bama,
Right.
stuff like that.
Kellen, I know you live in Georgia, so you're not like in the mix that we're in. So you kind of have a different probably thought process. What are people that when you come in contact with, because I know you wear Oklahoma gear when you're there. Well, you're obviously living in Georgia, but any comments ever made about Oklahoma to you? What people's thoughts are there?
Usually just talk about us choking, or
Yeah.
Bama fans telling me the greatest thing that's ever happened to us is Jalen Hurts and all that. So people, they love to hate on it, but
Let them.
Yeah, we're on our way up.
I love it when people can't stand us. I think that's really, really neat to hear. But I think this is the kind of guy we need. I think he can help bring along some folks, not him maybe personally, but him being here, other 5-star people helping that thinking, hey, I can come here. Is there another player on that team that's like who is that?
Well, there's one already committed to us,
right?
Which is the other interior defensive lineman that he plays with. Which,
what was he, a 4-star then, or what?
3 to 4, but
okay.
He's a lot of people, not even just OU fans. Like, he was getting Ohio State wanted him really bad, Texas wanted him really bad, and I think there was another big team too, if I'm not mistaken.
That tells you something right there.
Exactly. And if you watched that game on Saturday, while Stone was getting, single covered, double covered on some plays, this kid was getting triple covered. So wow. He's good, and he's going to be, I don't think he's going to be as big of a day one impact as David Stone. That's not, I mean, who knows if David Stone even, plays a ton day one anyways, right. But by junior year, he's going to be a force to be reckoned with himself.
Man.
And so also, I mean, IMG, again, like we said earlier, that's just one of the biggest D1 high schools in the country. So if you can start to build that pipeline, the following year there's like a 5-star offensive lineman that we're in the mix for. This year there's a 5-star offensive lineman that we're in the mix for. So if we can start kind of getting that pipeline built up and these guys starting to, recruit some of their old high school teammates, I mean, that's going to be huge. And I know it's obvious, like who doesn't want, an IMG or a really big powerhouse high school pipeline, but I think we're doing it the right way by getting the guys in the trenches, and then skill players are a lot easier to come by for sure.
Especially at OU. I mean, we can get any skill player to come over here.
Yeah.
Because that's something we produce in the NFL is offensive skill players to go become, I mean, Jalen Hurts, there's a great example. The dude's last year was at OU. And even though, he played at Alabama, I mean, the jump that he made, that year that he played at OU was the reason he became a 3rd-round draft pick. Somebody believed in him because they saw something. That was second round. My bad.
He was like,
wow.
No, yeah. He was like
Late
first
second.
pick in the second or something like that.
Never mind. You have to look that up now. I don't think that's that early.
Maybe. But, you'll have to look at it.
You see guys like CeeDee Lamb, Marquise Brown, even former tight ends that used to, Mark Andrews. We produce offensive skill guys. If we can just get these defensive guys to come over here, it's going to definitely change what people think of us for sure.
I agree 100%. And I think it's going to happen. We've just got to have, which I still fully think we'll have a pretty decent season. As long as the, key folks stay healthy, I don't see any reason why we can't win 9 games. I really don't at all. I think this is a 9-win team with this kind of schedule we've got going on. Bradenton, Florida is where it's located. It's 45 minutes south of Tampa. So I've known some people for my career, work not real well, but throughout my career that have worked in that area. So I know where that is now, just looking through it. But this is a huge signing. I know we talked about Jackson Arnold just a second ago. OU has signed 4 5-star quarterbacks, and not one of them stayed with the Sooners. Rhett Bomar, Spencer Rattler and Caleb Williams. So hopefully number 4 is a charm. I don't see any reason why not. I really don't. And I know we play Arkansas State coming up on Saturday. My question is this. So a game like that, which let's be honest, we should win, right? I mean, being honest, how long do you play the starters? Because you want to get some of that gelness, or what do you call it? What's the word?
Chemistry.
Chemistry. Yeah. Chemistry working together. But at the same time, I know you're going to want to get some backups, some time to play. Where do you draw the line? What are your thoughts? What are your guys' thoughts on something like that?
I mean, I personally, obviously, this is given the fact like we're in a good position, like
Right.
the win's not a doubt and everything. I would say probably right at the beginning of the fourth. I think that first half is obviously one to create that separation, to put it in, no doubt.
Right.
Third quarter might be whenever you try a couple of things here and there, or maybe toss it in a couple of different not formations. What's the word I'm looking for? Just players on the field at the same time that you might not try, in any other game.
Like trying to find that personnel.
Personnel, yeah, personnel. And then fourth quarter is whenever you're like, hey, Arnold and all these other guys, that's go ahead and show us what you got, but also get some experience and learn from it.
I want to see Jackson Arnold with the first team a little bit, though. I really do.
True, because when we went and saw him in the spring game, we didn't get a whole lot of justice because he did not get – that offensive line was not the first team.
Right.
For sure.
Sure.
And that's what I was about to say. Like, I think what Gary said, start of the fourth, but, like, maybe, like, halfway through the third, put in Jackson Arnold with the first string guys. Like,
Right.
first the starting offensive linemen, starting receivers, and see how it goes. Like, and then you can start bringing in, like, sophomores or juniors that don't play, and then even freshmen that are kind of like 3, 4, 5-star guys. But definitely like until halftime, it's starters all the way until you create that separation. Third quarter, you can try to do new things. Hey, would this guy work good with Dylan Gabriel at quarterback, or will this running back be good with these offensive linemen? Like trying to figure out at what like personnel with certain players, like,
Right.
and that's kind of like, I think that's kind of how it'll go. And then fourth quarter, it should be, because I think they should beat Arkansas State, but fourth quarter should be like second, and then maybe some third stringers up towards the end.
You're, as a head coach, you're hoping to get through without any kind of significant injuries. Obviously, that's a guarantee right there. So you're trying to, what am I going to do? Who am I going to play? Who am I going to put in here? So it'll be very interesting to see. I'm interested in seeing some of these, like who's going to start at running back. I heard middle linebacker is not going to be Kanik. I don't know if you heard. I heard it's going to be this kid, Connor Neer from Ferris
He's at
State.
D2.
Yeah. That's who I'm hearing that Kanik's still not picking it up as much as obviously they think he should. So but I do think he'll be out on the field quite a bit, but at the same time, it's sounding like this Connor Neer guy is going to be the one who's going to be playing the most or starting, which is surprising, to be honest with you.
I want to say Kinnick wasn't even really super expected to be the middle linebacker, because
Really,
for whatever, like that's not his natural position. I don't think.
Okay.
I think he's more of a
Danny Stutzman.
not even, yeah, like that kind of position. So, and I mean, if you're on social media, they're like best friends, roommates, all this stuff. So once Stutzman leaves, I think that is the exact void that he's going to fill for the next 1 to 2 years. But he's still too good of an athlete to keep off the field, which is getting to the point where we have too many of those. I guess you can't have too many of those, but like we have a lot of really good athletes on the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah, definitely.
Like it's
100%.
It's getting insane, and it's getting loaded, which is good. And I think it's important to note that I think our coaching staff's doing a good job of making sure these guys know before they come in, even like you're gonna have to one fight for that spot, but also like even if you don't get it day one, you know, that next year, as long as you put in the work, you could be that guy.
Sure. I'm really looking to see Trace Ford, see how well he adapts to the Sooners. I'm really wanting to see something out of Ethan Downs this year. I feel like it's been a little, I don't want to say the word disappointing, but it seems as if it's been, and not necessarily all him, but it's just because he didn't have any, I don't feel like he had any help. But I think that getting some of those guys some playing time, I want to see how much, what's his name? What's the kid's name? Peyton Bowen plays. I think that dude's going to be a stud.
Everything we're hearing, if it wasn't for us having like a 6th-year senior on the team, he'd probably start most games.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the like Pearson kid.
Reggie Pearson, like
who's a stud himself.
Who is exactly. Well, if it wasn't for him, I think Bowen would be in heavy contention for that starting spot as a freshman. Like he is all over the place, and also, I mean, he's trying so many different positions too. Like not even just safety, or he's trying both safeties, corner, that cheetah position. I think that we have.
Pearson, the guy from Tech.
Yeah.
The thing is, like, our secondary and even our linebackers, there's, like you said, there's so many athletes, and like they have to rotate. Like Canick's gonna play. I even think that Kobe McKenzie kid's gonna play at linebacker a little bit. There's that guy that we got from Indiana, who's I mean, he's starting, but like there's Key Lawrence that's gonna have to rotate in. He's not gonna start, but he's gonna have to rotate. Or Peyton Bowen's gonna have to rotate in there. Like we still have Billy Bowman. Like we have athletes everywhere. Like it's gonna be like if injuries do happen, which I wish they don't. Like I still feel like we're gonna be fine in that secondary, but like if Woody Washington's getting tired, it's all right. He can get a breather, and somebody's gonna come in and step up. And I feel like that. I feel like we're fine on defense. I just think if we just come together as a team and figure it out, I think we have athletes that can make plays for sure.
Sure.
And the question at running back, I think Barnes and the Gavin kid, I think they're going to both play.
Sawchuck, yeah.
Like, I think they might be 50-50 split reps because they're both. I mean, what they did in the bowl game, it's disgusting.
Yeah. From what I've been seeing, it's going to be probably Marcus Major starting.
That's what I was going to ask.
Javante second, and then Gavin and Tawee Walker are going to be in that interchanging. Like,
really,
it shocks me, and I'm a little disappointed. Like, I do hate that.
It's been there for so long.
I know, and that's why he is like they've said he's had such a good fall camp and spring ball and everything like that. Which again, I'd hope so for being a 5th year, but he's probably going to be our main guy.
Interesting.
It is interesting. Like I said, it's only disappointing just because I was so excited to see the young guys who I think have so much potential. But I mean, if he puts us in the best situation to win, so be it. And
I don't disagree.
By all means, but
they are the coaches.
Yeah. I think he's going to be the guy starting at the beginning of the season. I don't think he'll be the guy at the end. I mean, I think he'll still play, but I don't think he'll be the main guy. I think it'll be maybe Javante Barnes. I'm telling you what, though, that was it Sawchuck? Man, he reminds me.
That one game we saw.
Oh,
yeah.
He reminds me of a guy, Gutierrez, that played years ago. I can't remember what year. It was in the mid-2000s. Maybe later, 2015.
I mean, they both had 100 yards in that game. Like,
to be fun.
I understand them picking Marcus Major, but I mean, if I was a coach, I'd go with the young guys.
Sure, I get it.
But also,
especially because SEC's coming out.
Yeah, next year you're gonna have those two guys still, hopefully.
That
Tatum. Like Stone's going heavy after Caden Durham now.
Oh.
Trying to get him to flip back to Oklahoma. Not back, but to Oklahoma. So
sure.
I mean, we could be having a 1-2 punch for hypothetically the next 6 years already set.
Yeah. Kellen, do you hear much about Oklahoma and Texas coming to the SEC out in that way, or not a whole lot?
I don't think anybody here is worried about it,
Well, yeah.
but I think they'll be worried about it here in a couple of years. But right now, I mean, we just have this reputation of always looking really good in the Big 12 and
I know.
losing in the big game. And
It's
then
true.
this year we didn't even make it to the big game, but look what happened to TCU. So it's like, it's kind of the reputation we have. But when people tell me we have a reputation of choking, I always try to remind them, I think that was more on one coach who did the same thing at his next school. And now that we finally have a defensive mind as coach, that's always been our weakness. Anytime we've played these guys, we come out and put on the good numbers, but we don't stop them at all. But now that we have a coach that can coach defense and we're getting defensive players, like, I keep telling them we're going to be a problem here soon. Just give us a couple years in the SEC.
Keep telling them.
I would rather have any day of the week one of the top ranked defenses any day of the week, and then being able, if you have to, get a quarterback that I don't want to say game manager, but run the ball, whatever it might have to be. I'd rather have a defense instead of having to keep, like we've done in the past, where it was just we tried to outscore teams. I would much rather. I would way much rather have a top-notch defense. And if we could get, because we were one of the worst, what I say a few weeks ago, like 128th or something like that last year, and if we could somehow get it in the 40s, 50s, man, because I believe as long as Levy's there, but I really truly believe we're going to be able to get some skill players on offense, a pretty decent quarterback. As long as Beatonbow's there, which even if Beatonbow's leaves, we're going to get somebody that can coach the line. You got to start with the big boys up front, protecting the quarterback, making some adjustments, and being able to open it up to get some runs. If that makes any sense at all, I would rather have just an incredible defense. I can tell you back in the 80s with Bosworth and Tony Casillas and golly, I'm trying to think of a couple of the other guys that were Dave. Gosh dog it. Anyway, they were incredible. Now, granted, it was more of a run league, what as much passing, Big 8 back then, and OU beat up on all, like we were talking a minute ago, OU, there were so many times as a kid that their first string was already out by the end of the first quarter. The only time their first string played was against Texas, was against Nebraska, and there was always that one game somewhere where they just didn't have it that day. They were, and then obviously the bowl game, but those were the games that they played the full game. Those were incredible years when we had some of those great defensive players. Ricky Bryan, man, goodness, they were incredible.
I mean, if Venables and that coaching staff can get, like you said, their defense ranked in the 40s, I mean, even 50s.
Yeah.
I mean, I think everybody should be worried in the SEC because, like, I still think we're going to continue to produce offense, just especially with, like, I believe a lot in Jackson Arnold, and I think he's a generational talent, and I think he's going to be very successful. I think the next couple of years with him, it's going to be scary, and if our defense, I mean, can just continue to improve, and I believe that Brent Venables can do that, and he's proven that he can get guys like David Stone. I mean, like Kellen said, they might not be worried next year, but I think in the next year after that, they're going to be like, okay, OU's going to be a trouble for us, and they're going to be competing.
Sure. And hopefully it's not just four guys sitting around drinking the Kool-Aid thinking, hey, it's going to happen. But I truly do. I truly believe in this team, coaching staff. I see no reason why we don't go into the Texas game 5-0. We've got Arkansas State, then SMU, both at home. Then do we go to Cincinnati? And then Iowa State at home, and then Texas, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
No, I know for sure we go 3 weeks after these first two away. So we go like you said, at home, Arkansas State, SMU, at Tulsa, at Cincinnati.
Tulsa, that's right. Tulsa, you're right.
Yeah,
that's the
one. And then at home, Iowa State.
That's
right.
Texas.
That's right.
So is it 5-0?
Right. Yeah. Because those first three, I mean,
should be gimme.
Should.
Be
Now, SMU, if they had Mordecai, maybe a little bit different.
100%. No, if they still had Mordecai.
It'd be a lot different now. I don't know who the guy's going to be playing this year. No clue. But Iowa State, I think, is come down a little bit. I don't think they're they've lost some players.
I mean, their starting quarterback's not playing. So
really,
he's the one who's getting all these betting allegations.
Yes. So yeah, that's gonna be fun. Hopefully 5-0. We can go another game against Texas 5-0. And again, if Dylan Gabriel plays that whole game last year, I think we still lose, but I don't think we definitely don't get shut out. And I don't think it's what was the score? 49-0 or 40?
It's probably them in the 30s, and we're probably sitting in the 20s.
Yeah, they still beat us by 10 to 14 points, in my opinion. I mean, I really do think, but it would have been completely different instead of the other kid who didn't know how to play. It seemed like whatever happened there, I don't know.
But well, other than the Texas game, the only one that scares me other than them is UCF. Just because I think they do have some pretty big talent on that team, and couldn't tell you last time we played them. So I don't know if it's going to be a new matchup, which is also exciting. But I mean, there's so many question marks about that. So
Gus Malzahn, he's the head coach, correct?
Correct.
Yes, yeah. I believe so.
Well, he's done a lot of. I mean, I remember him when he was high school coach, and I think it was Springdale, Arkansas, I believe. Then I know he went to TU as an offensive coordinator. I think he may have gone back to Arkansas as an offensive coordinator, maybe. I'm not sure. He coached Arkansas State for a little bit too, before or after Auburn. I don't remember. I think it was before.
Real quick, OU's 35-point favorites. Are you guys taking the over or the under on that?
For Saturday?
I'd take
Arkansas
the under.
State.
I'd take the under.
I'll take the under as well.
Just because I think
I'll go do it right now.
I think that they're going to be trying a lot of different things, trying to run the ball, trying to get them out of there without limited injuries. Let me ask you this: if Arkansas State scores more than 10 points, are you a little disappointed on the defense? Depending on how it is, I'm not talking about an interception return for a touchdown or.
I would say anything 14. Above. Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say.
Yeah, I just want to see improvement. I think that place is going to be incredible. Are you guys wearing pink for Coach?
I
haven't seen anywhere about it. So
I've seen a lot of asking people to wear pink for Coach's wife that has breast cancer. If I do, I don't have any pink OU shirts. I may just wear just a regular pink shirt because I've got a couple of those. But that would be what I do there. But that's kind of what I'm looking at anyway.
Yeah, I sadly won't be in attendance.
Why? Why are you going?
We have film on Saturday mornings, and we don't get out till like 10:30. So, I mean, if I do go, it'd be late. But I already offered my ticket to someone else.
Way to go!
But I'll be there for SMU at 5 p.m. I won't be sweating.
Yeah, that's true. It's going to be hot. It's supposed to be close to 100, if not 100 again.
I did want to mention about their schedule. I would also kind of be worried about that BYU game.
Oh, I am.
That atmosphere in
no.
Provo is amazing. And I mean, we have a history of playing bad against BYU. I mean, I guess Sam Bradford did get hurt that game, but
yeah, he got hurt.
Still,
but
they're scary.
I don't disagree, but say we go into that game, what would that be, like 8-1, 9-1? I don't think we have any issues with it at all. Obviously, again, given health and all that, I don't think we have. I think we just go in there and take care of business.
If we're undefeated going to that game, I will be scared that whole week. Because at that point, I'm like, all right,
crap game.
We're playing good. We might make a run, not win, but we might get a run. I'm like, now we're gonna lose this game and it's over with.
Are you hoping for an OU Texas Big 12 championship?
Yes, I think it'll be beautiful to tell the Big 12, see ya.
Yeah, that would be.
We're the best two teams here, and now we're leaving y'all. So
leaving
as long as we win.
Yeah, that's true. As long as we win, I don't care.
Honestly,
go ahead. Nah, whatever. No, I didn't want to hear it.
I know.
Don't even say it. All I know is I want to win the Big 12 first, and then we'll see what happens after that. I want to win the Big 12 championship, And then if we get into the big dance, then great. If not, okay.
Well, I have a question for you then, or for all of you guys. So, I mean, if we do go, let's say we do go undefeated, or we lose to that, we lose to Texas, but we play them in the Big 12 championship, and we win that game, and
yeah,
let's say would you want to make the playoffs, or you just want to make a bowl game? Like, what is your honest opinion there? Because my honest opinion, my realistic opinion is, I don't think we need to go to the playoffs because I don't think this is the year. I don't think this is the team
choke again.
I don't think this is the team to do it. Is my
I will
honest opinion.
say,
I hope they prove me wrong. That'd be awesome, but I just don't think this is the team to do it.
I think we deserve it. I don't think we would do a whole lot of great things there, but I can guarantee you, if we're in that situation, I'm going to be when they're on that reveal night, hoping and praying we make it. That's
true.
for sure.
That's
like
true.
I'm going to be like,
come
oh,
on.
we better make it. Like, there's no way they're going to put a 2-loss Ohio State over us. Like, there's no way.
Yeah. Kellen, what about you?
Well, I don't see us making it that far, but if the opportunity presented itself, I want to get in there and compete. As long as we don't go out there and just choke against like somebody.
I know.
But if we make it a good game, granted, I'm always going to be rooting to win, but
yeah,
as long as we put up numbers and made it competitive, then it's like, all right, we'll see you guys next year.
That's true. Like, if it's a game like we played it with Georgia,
exactly,
and we lose, I'm gonna be like, y'all went all the way. Like, y'all had to take us to like 2 overtimes to beat us. Like, y'all struggled with us.
And we're only getting better. Like, come on.
With Dan Gabriel like quarterback, you let us almost beat you guys? Come on.
With a second-year head coach?
Yeah.
Come on.
Real
Dan
quick,
Gabriel might win Heisman. Who knows?
Who's your Final Four pick? Who's going to the playoffs?
Oh, that's good. Is it just
I've already
me
said
answering
mine.
This question?
I'm going to change mine. I think Michigan is going to go. I still think Georgia with the athletes. Oh my goodness. I think Georgia will be one of the teams. I'm going to go with Florida State. And I'm going to go with Ohio State.
USC is going to be number 1. They're going to lose to number 4, but they're going to be number 1. I think Michigan probably, or whichever one. You say Michigan or Michigan State?
I said Michigan because they're the ones.
I was thinking,
yeah,
Michigan, and then I'm LSU.
Yeah,
like it.
I just Oklahoma, man.
Yeah, come on. I was going to do it too.
Did you really say Sooners? All right.
Hey,
Okay.
Hey.
I'll say
I don't want to look like a bandwagoner when they make it, and I was like, oh yeah. Like, hey, you didn't believe. I believed.
I will say if USC makes it and they're number 1, they probably went undefeated and they deserve to be number 1 because that schedule's tough.
That's what I'm saying, but they're going to lose to number 4.
They've got Notre Dame.
But I'm saying if they get to number 1,
Yeah.
Can you name their schedule off real quick?
Okay,
just the main games. Yeah,
the
just
big
the
ones
games.
are they got to play. They play Notre Dame, they play Utah, they play Washington, and they play Oregon, and
there's no way,
and UCLA. To be honest with you,
there's
no way.
I agree.
No,
So, and that's what I'm saying.
Utah's got their number. Utah's
Utah's just tough.
With Cam Rising, they got their number, bro.
They're just tougher.
You
saw Caleb Williams said real quick that he may not even come out next year, depending on who's got the number 1 pick. And I don't blame him if it's like the Cardinals. I want to go to the Cardinals.
I mean, they're setting themselves up for disaster for the next 5 years at least, even if they pick them. So I completely agree.
I guess
but they're set up in a way that if they don't get them next year, they'll get them the next one.
So what is he going to stay there for 6 years?
But like, I also understand these guys are making so much money in college, they don't have to rush to the NFL.
It doesn't matter anymore.
Like, granted, it's just off deals and all that, but Arch Manning is making more money than off all his NIL deals than Joe Burrow's contract. Not including Joe Burrow's like
base
sponsors
salary
and all that, but like just his contract. Arch Manning's making more this year.
Crazy, man. Who's your picks, Garrett?
I got Georgia 1. They got a pretty cakewalk season this year, as long as they take care of business in the championship. Michigan 2, I think they have Ohio State's number now, at least with J.J. McCarthy at quarterback. I think they'll go 3-0 against them. I got Oregon at 3. I think they're the best team in the Pac-12, and I think they'll have a pretty nice record, whether that's 11-1, 12-0. I don't know, probably more on the 11-1 side. And then I think I got Clemson at number 4. I think they're still the team to beat in the ACC. I don't know why not as many people are talking about them. They're all just so high on Florida State for whatever reason. Like, they're gonna make a big run. Like, Clemson's has just as much talent, if not more, and an experienced head coach, and a better fan base and home environment. So I think they 100% are the team to beat in the ACC. And I think Cade Klubnik, who had it started last year, didn't have an incredible year. Neither did Jordan Travis, but I think Cade Klubnik's the best quarterback outside of Drake May in that conference, because Drake May's arguably number 1 in the country.
Did you guys see the Notre Dame guy, the quarterback did he play Wake Forest? He's good.
Oh, no.
Yeah, Sam Hartman.
I watched that game. I was like, this is the best quarterback they've probably had since Brady Quinn, if not
this is the best quarterback they've had in a while.
Dude's a
in a long while. Good for him.
Which is all they've been missing.
Yeah.
And everyone knows that. Like, they've made it to the playoffs with no quarterback, and because they were well coached, they had all-around team.
You're right.
And now, I mean, they are, like, whatever ranking they are, if they make it top 4, middle of the season, they're undefeated. Normally, I'm like, whatever, they'll lose 1 or 2. But I would not be surprised if they beat both USC and Ohio State. Don't they play Ohio State this year too?
Good question.
That'd be insane.
I'm gonna look that up real quick, but that's the best quarterback they've had in quite some time, and I was really impressed with him. So I see they play Clemson, I see they play Stanford, Wake Forest, Pittsburgh, Louisville. Yep, Ohio State, September 23rd.
I mean, that's a tough schedule too. Like, they're in the same boat as like a USC, to where if they get there, it's no fluke.
No, you're right. And they play NC State. I mean, who's not?
It's tough. They're not bad.
No, that's a good schedule, man. That's gonna be fun. I can't wait. I can't wait for football. I'm glad it's back, and I can't wait to show you guys in January how right I was. So, what do you got?
I got my 4. I don't think anybody's gonna go undefeated, but I still think Georgia will end at 1. I think USC will lose the game, but I think they'll end at 2 because they do have a tough schedule. But I think they'll finish at 2. And you know what? I'm gonna go for it. I think Oklahoma finishes at 3 and gives us the matchup we want in the playoffs. And I'm not gonna say who wins that game.
Against USC, that would be.
I would love it.
Oh my god!
I'm not gonna say who wins that game, but I think you guys.
Oh, we all know who wins that game. We all know. Come on.
Yeah, and it's gonna be us.
The tougher team.
Maybe I'm just putting my dream of 4. OU at 3, and then I think at 4 is gonna be LSU.
Yeah. I was.
Yeah. I like their team a lot, actually. But if also I could see Clemson in there as well. But I would love to see a USC Oklahoma matchup, and that'd be great.
We got Brent Venables on year 2, just like Bob Stoops was in 2000. Got a left-handed transfer quarterback, Dylan Gabriel, just like left-handed transfer quarterback Heupel. What was the other one, Garrett? Wasn't there another one?
Ranked 19 or 20?
Yeah, ranked 19, right around there, 20th. I thought there was something with a running back.
Sophomore running back coming off to a big bowl game. And then I saw another one saying we played Arkansas State that year too. Like,
we played OSU at home that year.
Yeah, we did, because that was.
We play them home this year though.
No, we play there.
Stillwater last game.
Stillwater. Yeah, This OU schedule this year is not very good at home.
Yeah, you're right.
It's not a good one.
I don't know what I was thinking.
Next year,
Come on.
bring it on. Bring it on.
Bring the Crimson Tide.
Well, Diego, we want to thank you for joining us again. We appreciate that. Gannon is in Iceland right now. And so you guys know, in 50-degree weather. Good for him. He's in Iceland for the next few more days. He made it there safely last week. So, Gannon, I'm sure you're listening to this at some point. We miss you. We can't wait till you come back. Give us a bunch of stories. Eat some of that good food. And make sure you bring me back something good, nice and tasty. If it'll stay good that long,
and bring some of them Icelandians to the Skulk. And
bring him. Yeah, exactly. He already met one individual when they were out and about. So he's got pictures sent to mom. He met a I can't remember the guy's name, but it was just a different name than you don't hear every day here in the United States. It's pretty cool. But for all my boys and my other son, Diego, we'd like to thank all of our listeners. Appreciate for everybody listening to the Skulk. Always remember that iron sharpens iron.
Please stay safe.
Be savage and not average.
Remember to join the Skulk.
And until next time,
Good.
Bye,
everybody.
Everybody.